Welcome, everybody, to our coach call. Today is July 20th, and we are joined with people from all over. Lots of different teams coming together, which is what I love about what we're doing, just collaborating and sharing ideas. So several of us are coming back from Summit in Nashville, and I know it was just such an incredible mountaintop experience for me. This is my fourth Summit. Probably my best, probably my favorite summit so far, and I got a lot of info and a lot of tips and a very different experience. So, tonight what it's all about is just having a conversation with everybody who's here. What were the most impactful things that really stuck out for you, and what are some of your action steps that you're taking this week? I remember when I went to Summit the very first time. This is my fourth. The week and a half after, I was in action. Like, I hit the ground running, and I made enough money to pay for Summit, that year's Summit, as well as the next year's Summit. And I was blown away because money was a huge issue for me at the time. And honestly, going to Summit the very first time was a huge leap of faith. Like, I didn't have the money, but I saw everybody else's business was advancing from the people who had gone the year before, and I had skipped out on it. So I knew I had to get there. I knew it was super important, and I did not regret it. So I'm just going to kind of open the floor up. I know, I was there, Adam was there, Pete, Phil, Harvey was there. James, were you there? I know you're a brand new coach as of today. And by the way, I just put everybody on mute. So if you want to talk, go ahead and take yourself off.
No, I was not there.
Okay, cool. And the cool thing about this call is, for everybody who wasn't there watching, as well as watching the video for the recording, these are some tips. So, I'm going to be taking notes. I highly recommend that everybody take notes and come away from this call with some clear action steps about what you're going to be doing. All right, that's the deal. I would love to start with some of the people who've been to Summit for the very first time. Hear my dogs. Phil, why don't we start with you? What were some of your takeaways? This is your first time, right?
It was actually number 3 for me, but I think that like you, for you being the fourth, like this being your fourth one, I think this one was the most impactful for me, and a lot for reasons like like I said, this one was a lot more personal because of my current debt situation and everything. So I really took the time to learn, to really digest everything, and the biggest takeaway I got out of it is that people want to hear your story more. So you want to be able to broadcast your story. It's like, so when the workshop came around and they were talking about sharing your story and how to sort of share it in bits and pieces. Like, I think they called it breadcrumbing over time. So that way, like, you get over. If you do just one bit, you just share it all at once, then you only get so many people. But if you do, like, goes back to what Enrique was saying about consistency, is that over time, you just let people know bits and pieces, so that way they stay engaged, they stay interested, and they get to learn a little bit more about you, and then it makes you relatable. It makes you human, rather than just like posting stock photos of like challenge packs or size photos. Rather, it's like people want to see you. Like, people want to see you doing it, and they also want to see just like how it's changing you. So my biggest takeaway was that I need to be more transparent. I need to be more open on my social media platforms, and I want to let people know what I'm doing, and then also want to be able to attach my face to it as well, so that way it feels real.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Have you, since then, have you shared anything a little bit more personal?
Yeah, I did. Right after Summit, if you look on my Facebook page, it's public. I've got that picture. I've got the picture of the flowers that I couldn't afford to buy my girlfriend. Mm-hmm. And then that got a lot of likes. I got a lot of engagement. And And then also ever since I've been on the invite war path lately. I think I've thrown out at least 23 today, and actually signed up two people to challenge packs today. So like before Summit, I came in a broken man, like with everything that's been going on. But now's the time to take action and to start fighting my way out. So things are moving.
Man, that's a huge success story.
Mm-hmm.
That is absolutely awesome. And I did see your post. I was kind of baiting the question. I was hoping you would talk about it.
Yeah.
It was good.
I'm glad you asked about it. I'm really trying to be more open, because like I've always been like a closed book my whole life. But what I figured, good things happen when you allow people into your life. And for the most part, another takeaway too, I just thought about, is that over being vulnerable and everything, I've learned more about the human condition. As far as the people I associate with, they really want you to do well in life. They really want you to succeed, and people can root for that. They'd rather do that instead of just wish ill will on someone. So I've really learned that in the past few days, and it's really refreshing to see. Yeah. I mean, just such love and support. Mm-hmm.
You know, one thing that I loved about what you wrote in your post was that you talked about both where you've been as well as where you want to go.
Yeah.
I think that's something that it holds back a lot of people when they feel like they're in the thick of a struggle, and they feel like, well, I can't talk about it until I figure it out and until I kind of, make it through. But what I love about what you did was that you really just shared the humanity of it, and that's what people really connect with. But then you didn't stop there. Like, you cast a vision of where you want to go, and that's the inspiration piece.
Yeah, I always try to, I didn't want to just make it completely depressing too. I always want to leave people with a positive note, a positive spin on everything. So that way, whether you're down or something, there's always a way out of it. And I've heard stories from people that have been through a lot worse. So, this is only a temporary thing for me right now. So I'm going to keep fighting.
Yeah. Awesome. Cool. Thanks, Phil. Let's go over to Colleen. Go ahead and take yourself off mute.
Okay, almost dropped the phone, sorry. Hi, everybody.
Welcome. So we're just sharing some of our takeaways from Summit, and then we'll do another round of action steps for this week. But I'm glad that you made it on the call, because I know you're traveling.
Yeah, I was home and did laundry and slept and got back in the car again this morning to be with my husband on a trip. So just for a few days for his board meeting. So it's a little crazy, but I got up morning with my daughter and worked out in the morning, and I promised Michael I'm going to work out only in the morning from now on, not at night or in the late afternoon. And I felt better all day. Even though I'm tired from Summit, I had downtime this afternoon. I didn't want to take a nap. I actually went out and, instead of going to the hotel, ran errands and actually shopped a little, and I did something for me. And I'm eating good, even though I'm out of town, because I know I have to. And so that's good. And I just feel like Summit was very inspiring and is pushing me in a whole new direction, and it was the best 4 days I've had in a long time. And I think, like Phil said, being human, sharing your story with others, not that we don't know that, but it just brings it into more focus. And Phil, what you put on your post was inspiring to me, because all been at the checkout line and got the denial on the ATM. It's happened to me. And you feel like crud, and then you go, okay, how am I going to make this better? And I think you are going to be able to make it better. So keep pushing there, Phil, because I was very inspired by your post. And I think just all the support I've gotten from people that know me, either a short time or a long time, has been just incredible, because I just am really putting myself out there too now.
You shared a video a couple days ago that really made an impact.
Yeah. Oh God, I'm gonna cry. Try not to cry. It was just like, I was so excited to be at Summit, but I was also so afraid to do the workout with 25,000 people, because I'm thinking, oh my God, you know, I'm not gonna be able to go the whole time. So I knew that, but it was like, okay, I'm gonna have to pace myself and all that. But I still get anxious, because that's my personality. Plus we had to get up so early in the morning, and I am not a morning person. So getting up at 4 a.m. was, you know, new to me. But when I got back, I just posted a video after that workout saying, you know, I did it. I mean, that's all I put in the subject line, and there was the video there, and people clicked and watched the video, which, you know, I thought, well, some people will click on it, but like way more people clicked on it than I ever dreamed would. And I just, you know, I said I was proud of myself because I stuck to it. I took the breaks as I needed to. I did as much as I could. I still am a person who has to do the modifications, but I just kept pushing through and did them. And it just, I don't know, it's probably just probably the turning point moment for me at Summit, that like, you can do this even when you're petrified that you might fail. You can push through and you can do it. And, you know, and that was the other thing, like when I had to sit and take a break at one point on this little sidewall, like there was a girl right there, and she's like, how you doing? Do you have water? And then she goes, don't feel bad. It's really hot out here. Like, I think she could see I was like a little frustrated with myself or whatever. And she was like, don't worry, do what you got to do, and then jump back out there. Like, she was super encouraging. And of course, having you next to me was encouraging, and David and my friend Stephanie. And then, you know, they had tons of water for us so we could keep hydrated. So that was good. So I didn't have to worry about that. You know, but it was just something where, I don't know, just really hit home. And it hit home for a lot of people, just to see that I'm finally going to take the time to invest in myself.
Yeah.
So now Michael's going to cry now, because I'm going to cry. I'm going to make Michael cry.
Which we all know is not hard.
I know. Me either. I'm a mush.
I'm so proud of you, and it was such a great experience to share together, and I'm just really glad that you stepped out in faith, not knowing what was going to happen and fully being afraid, but doing it anyway. I'm just so excited for you.
Well, it's scary, because you know, nobody wants to admit that they've gotten to the weight I'm at right now. But I lost 4 pounds at Summit. So, you know, I'm really, you know, because I'm at 313 pounds. That's really hard to say out loud. But I'm just going to keep pushing.
And
that's all you can do. I can't go up. I can't go up. I just have to go down from there, from the weight.
Yeah. And I just want to like wrap my arms around this little camera.
It's okay. It's all good. It's tears of partial relief saying it out loud and knowing that it's going to get better. So it's not sad tears. It's tears of relief and happiness, because I know I'm finally headed in the right direction.
Yeah.
Okay. Colleen, I'm unmuting myself just to say that you're awesome.
Thanks, Jason. Okay, move to somebody else. We don't want to keep seeing me cry.
Okay, you did a great job. Thank you. Oh, geez, who can follow that? How about let's go over to Harvey. I know that Harvey, you've had like a really great last day and a half, and you kind of entered Summit a little frustrated, and some things unraveled for you, or unraveled in a good way. And let's see, you are on mute. I will take you off mute. I still can't hear you.
That's because I'm not talking. Ha!
The sense of humor.
I'm sorry. I just had to do that.
Like, what's wrong?
We're trying to compete.
Thank you, Harvey. I needed to laugh. Okay.
There you go. Well, first off, I want to thank all of you for inviting me, and especially Michael, into this team call, because I've never been with you guys. And he said, come over and just see what you guys are about. Oh, I got to turn this off. And see what you guys are about. And very much enjoying this, and hopefully I could do this more often with you. And can you see the reflection on my blue shirt? There, how's that? Better? Makes me crazy looking at myself like that. My takeaway from the summit is I realized how much wrong I'm doing and how much I need to back up and basically not really start over, but catch up on all the things I've been doing wrong with the new systems that I learned. My follow-up has been horrendous, sort of. Mainly my follow-up has been not good. And I'm sure a lot of potential customers have fallen through the cracks. One thing I did tell Michael that I do correctly is anytime somebody buys anything, I have a spreadsheet. I have their name, what they bought, when they bought it, and I send them a handwritten note on a personalized note card. So that's really nice. And I had them custom made. My sister's a graphic artist, if anybody needs anything. The other thing I got from the summit is way too many notes. I'm going to have to like really plow through this stuff and get organized, and 1,000 gems that I need to work on. The quick story, I don't know if anybody saw my post. I landed yesterday morning. Bottom line, I went to lunch with my mom, and I had an awesome waiter. I prospected that guy, and then I went to dinner, and I had another a maitre d' in the restaurant, more upscale. I only had an encounter with him for maybe 15 seconds walking in, but I've just watched him through the hour and a half, and he was always upbeat, always helping. I would talk to him before I left. So by the end of the day, the end of my first day back from Summit, I had two awesome contacts that before the end of the night, I sent a welcome email with 2 of the videos from Beachbody, and I put an end date stating, look at this stuff. I will be calling you on Thursday. So I didn't put an end, like, give me a call after I'm learning. Like, give me a call after you do that, and, you can go 2 weeks and hear nothing. Then I do a follow-up email, and probably 10 people just, like, drifted into space. So maybe I need to go back to those guys and just pick up the phone and talk to them. And, that's something I need to do. But moving forward, right before this call, I went through that list of that I sent all the thank you notes to right before this call, and I sent every single one of them a message from even like 6 months back. How are you doing on your program, or how are you doing on your Shakeology? Anything I can do to help. And what's been going on here, which I've now turned off, is one of my guys who's on Shakeology and doing his own thing. His house is his kitchen is under construction. So he's gaining weight. He's not figuring out the Shakeology. So I'm talking, how's your nutrition? How's your workout program? So I turned that off. But I already got something back within 2 minutes of sending this big list out. Am I rambling too much?
This is gold.
Oh, yeah. So my main thing is tracking better, and also at that lovely dinner that we had, the $12 throw out your money dinner is that hour and a half was just gold for me. I got so much great information about expanding my Facebook horizon, which didn't even occur to me because I scuba dive. I love the beach. I love the beach. I have a cat. I live in South Florida. I'm trying to learn to play the piano. All these things that never occurred to me because I was just, a dental school instructor and a scuba instructor. To me, that's this little bit when I'm supposed to be like this big. So that was a huge pearl that I got. Oh, I threw somebody off the phone call. Oh, there we go. Everybody just shifted all of a sudden here.
Yeah.
So that's my. I think I combined what you wanted to follow up with later, Michael. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. You just saved me the time and energy.
Oh, okay.
Nice. Thanks, Harvey. Let's go over to Pete.
Wow. Summit was amazing. Sorry, I'm pulling up my notes because I had an assignment today to work on. So, it was obviously my first summit. I, made sure I was there, bought the ticket a year ago. But over the last, year, it hasn't always been easy. And I know there was probably a time where I was probably going to quit. I know I got a lot of one-on-one time with Michael, and that was good for this weekend. And just, I know I had a mindset change right before Summit, actually a month or two before Summit, that really gave me some momentum in my business. And then just being able to get there and put torsos on people, because we're all seeing each other from this, So, after Michael came to the hotel room, knocked on the door, we give each other a hug. And my first words out of my mouth after hi was, dude, you're short. Because, no offense to Michael, he knows he's short. But, that was the first time we ever met in person. And, Adam's like, that's the first time? I'm like, yeah, I would have got the you're short comment out a long time ago. Of course, Adam's tall. So, and he looks short. No, I'm just kidding. But just some takeaways were, that everyone matters. That was kind of the theme. But that I have to be more consistent with posts on Facebook, which is like a continuing effort that I'm working on. Setting alarms to be like, hey, post, and making sure I share more of my story on Facebook. And kind of breadcrumbing it so people are interacting with, I did just a poll on Saturday, like in the general session, they had a session about social media, and somebody was like, well, what do you tip on a takeout order? And I was like, I'm just going to post if I can actually post, because the reception in the room was terrible. But I finally got, I've just posted on social media, what do you tip when you go out to eat? And it's actually still getting interaction even today. So, so it's kind of, if you post on social media and people are interacting, that's getting your story out to more, and making sure I'm posting, about my fitness journey, but also about other things that are interesting. Because then I posted the next day, what do you post on a takeout order? And people are like, I'm supposed to tip on that, So it's kind of just made some major interaction on my page, which is good. So, which is like the aha moment would be like having to get out of your comfort zone. So I'm usually a quiet, introverted, don't talk much, type the notes kind of guy, as Adam always would say, Pete talk, So one of the other aha moments was in the pre-summit training that we teamed up with, that it's possible to go from Emerald, which I am right now, to a 4-star or 5-star diamond by the next summit. And that's something that Brooke shared. I was like, as soon as she shared that, I was like, no freaking way I can do that. It's like, so I'm like, that's like on the goal board, for by next summit to be there. So, and, to do this is, just the importance of focusing on others. And one thing is, putting the cell phone away, even, just putting on the table upside down is just not, people still know you're looking at it and you're not focusing on them when you're meeting with them and interacting with them. So, things I'm working on doing better is making sure, I'm, keeping up with records, like using Google Docs, simplifying it for each social media platform, like obviously Instagram. Did I get them over to my Facebook page to interact with them on there? What, kind of notes on what we talked about, making sure that, I'm following up within a time period. And then getting, my new coaches started right. Obviously, I have 2 preferred customers, so they just want the discount. But working on the whole process of, when I actually do have coaches that want to build the business, that the system that Michael has, created, that also in the future that I'm creating a system that's already there and in place, so that when I'm separated off from dad per se, the boat still runs, and we're still going forward. So I'm not relying on Michael. Just like he's like, hey, today, do you want to increase your leadership? Yes. So he's like, well, I want you to help co-lead this group. Okay, sure, I can do that. So, well, it's just, a lot of, and it was just the one experience was on, I think, Thursday. I met Timothy, who was actually one of the finalists in the Beachbody Challenge, and just got to meet him and share, with him one-on-one. I actually didn't even know he was a finalist in it until his name went up on the screen. I was like, no freaking way, he's a finalist? I was like, and just, it was just amazing just to like hear his story. I know eventually we're going to have him on a Monday Mojo. I was talking with Caleb, who is one of the other finalists. He wants to come on and share. Working on Casey right now. So I'm like lining up Monday Mojos for Michael. So, for next, I don't know how many weeks. So I'm working on all that. But yeah, and let's see, another good takeaway was DeWitt Jones, who shared about, his photography and just how he said, he was like, oh, I've never shot a film, but he's like, just his attitude and perspective, where he actually went and shot something. He's like, yeah, it's just something I pulled off the shelf, like he's got like tons of things on the shelf. And then just the pictures of a good view, but what's the better view? So it's like the same thing he's taking a picture of, but from a totally different perspective, totally different angle. So, and just how that relates to, us building and helping people and just helping them from a different perspective that sometimes we don't, see ourselves, but having somebody share that truth and, being honest with us and sharing it in love to help us. So both Michael and Jason and Josh has shared a little bit of that to help me out. So I was able to help, thank each one of them individually this weekend in person versus over Facebook message or a Zoom call. So it meant a lot more. So, okay, I'll shut up now.
Pete, it was just great to spend time with you in person, and I'm just so glad that you had that experience. And I think that was about the most I've ever heard you talk ever.
No, I've talked more on a Monday Mojo.
Oh, that's true. That's true. You did have your own Monday.
Yeah.
This is the second.
I did.
But he's smiling more.
Yes, that's true.
Yes. So,
We did.
but yeah, I already booked the hotel and have my ticket, so
Nice.
What
it's all
hotel?
good for next year.
What hotel did you book?
I booked the Clarion right at 12 noon. I went right on as soon.
I went online like to 4 of the hotels, and it shows that it's blocked out the dates if you do it online. Did you call to do that?
Yeah, I did it online. I was able to book the dates for Thursday through Sunday.
The Clarion?
And then when I was doing my final checkout, I was able to select the Wednesday date and made it 4 nights versus 3.
I better jump on this because I'm.
Here, Harvey?
Yes.
Okay, Colleen here. What they did get overloaded, and then all the cheaper hotels that they had, at least the rooms they had open today, did get booked. When I talked to them, I called the Nashville convention people and talked to them. Okay, so because I was in the same frustration you were, because I was in a car trying to do it and I couldn't get through, and then by the time I was getting through, everything was gone pretty much. So then I called them, and they said there was the Gaylord and one other one had still been open a few hours ago, but those are more expensive. They're like $250 a night. So then I said to her, do you know if they're going to open more blocks of rooms? And she did not know. My husband, though, runs a convention here in Illinois, and when they do it through like the convention site like they did today, none of the hotels will book 100% of their rooms for a convention, because they still leave about 15 to 20% open for paying customers. So then what I did is I was looking at hotels to see when they would open up dates in their hotels, because a lot of them won't book more than a year in advance.
That's the problem that I had. Because
I think our best bet to do is keep checking through the Beachbody site daily, but if nothing opens up in the next few days, then if we try to get and book with the individual hotels starting on, is it the 26th, I think?
Mm-hmm.
Then we should be able to book in some rooms. And I don't know what the pricing is going to look like, but most of the pricing I checked on hotels was similar to the rates Beachbody was giving.
I just want to get a room.
I know.
My thing is just finding a space to sleep at this point.
Exactly. So I'm just going to check daily on this, because I was feeling the same way you were. I was like, oh my gosh, I just want a room somewhere. So I think that's what we're all going to have to do until maybe Beachbody announces that there's another, they may have only put up, 40% of the rooms today, and then they're going to put up another block in, a week, who knows? So I think we'll hear more from Beachbody. And if we don't, then we'll just have to be proactive in the next week.
Yeah, that's what happened for this year as well. I mean, everything got booked, and then they opened up more blocks. So, you won't have a problem. There's also, in addition to the hotels, a lot of people did Airbnb and enjoyed that. So, we'll find everyone a spot. You'll be all okay.
And then another good site is VRBO, which is vacation rental by owner, similar to Airbnb, and you can get some great deals on renting condos and houses too.
Yeah, perfect.
Thank you.
So don't panic yet.
Okay, I'm one day gone. I was, yeah.
I know, I was too. I was like a little like,
I went through the
so
same thing a year ago. That's the problem. And I thought things started happening today, not while you were at convention, that you could have booked your room for the year ahead. I didn't think they booked a year out.
right.
That's the problem. And whatever.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Hey, Dana. Hi. Can you hear us? Are you in a place where you can talk?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I just got home today.
Were you at Summit? I didn't see you.
I know. I'm so busy because it was a working trip for me too. I was doing the photography for Hillary Kelly.
Right.
So I had some very long days. We actually got to Summit on the Monday and we just left today. So I've been away
Wow.
for a week. It was wonderful. It was beyond it surpassed all of my expectations. It was the first time I got to connect with some people that I had been friends with on Facebook that had some great results, and it was very emotional. And I got to connect with, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Richard Browning, but if not, go look him up on Facebook. He's been doing the 21-day fix, and he lost 106 pounds in 6 months, and he had 2 blood clots in his legs while he was doing it, and one of them resolved itself. So his father died of a heart attack, and his brother has a pacemaker. So he is an amazing story. He actually wore a shirt to Summit that thanked Autumn for creating the 21-day fix, and he did a video with Hillary Kelly talking about, his story. He's just very inspiring. So the thing that I came away with was there are people out there that I can share their story besides my own, and it inspires other people. And so I'm going to be doing more of that, sharing the stories of others, because my story is not really one about obesity. Mine is more of not eating healthy. I would just starve myself. It was more about having anxiety and depression and needing a way to let that go. And it's quite different from someone else who has maybe a lot of weight to lose. But my mother and my sister are both extremely overweight, and so I've lived with obesity my whole life. So I just think that everyone should keep in mind that sharing other people's stories is a huge way to get across to people that, your story may not resonate with them, but there's other people that have great stories that you can use. You know what I'm saying? So that was probably the biggest thing for me,
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say besides I didn't get any sleep. I mean, I'm like on no sleep right now, is up at like 5 in the morning, and I probably didn't go to bed till 3 in the morning almost every night. So I'm very happy to be home. I loved Core. Oh my gosh, I could have bought everything in that place. I wish I had more money. I got the cutest shirt. It said, "Eat like you love yourself." So that was probably my most favorite thing I got at Core. I did Shaun T's size training, so I'm size certified. That was a blast. We had a really great driver that drove us around, and that was my first time with the Uber. Oh, and I have a really cute story about the Uber guy. He said, "We love that Beachbody has taken over our town." He said, "You people are so nice and so friendly and inspiring, and we love having you here." And he just wanted to talk about it and know more about it. And you know, seeing the locals be so happy that we were there, you know, we really brought their city to life, and I heard it everywhere we went. So, you know, we're inspiring people everywhere we go. And it makes me so happy. So that's it. I wished I got to see you, Michael, but oh darn, it was so busy.
I know. We'll get together another time.
Yes, of course.
That's awesome. Good story. I love Nashville. I thought it was a great town. I had a great time.
I heard that it was nicer than Vegas. You know, like I said, this was my first summit, but I heard most coaches say that they enjoyed it. I'm burning dinner.
Don't burn your house down. We'll let you focus.
My son is starving. We just got done at a basketball game. So, yeah, but it was a great time. And I love these calls that we're doing on Mondays. So please, let's keep doing them.
Absolutely. I get so much out of it too. Cool. Thanks. Let's go over to Adam.
Hey, what's up, buddy? Oh man, Summit! What a time, man. I don't know. I think my biggest takeaway from Summit, honestly, was probably 2 or 3 things. The breadcrumbing thing with sharing your story was huge. I mean, everybody was talking about that, and everybody was talking about how you can optimize so much more by just not sharing all of your story all of it at once, all the time. And then like having a vision for yourself, you know, like I think people just get caught up in the daily tasks and they don't really see like where they want to go. Like, what is your vision for your future, and what is your vision for helping people and helping as many people as you can, and what does that look like, and make it tangible and write it down and organize it and follow it and do the little small, you know, insignificant little things that are going to get you to that point. And I think that was a pretty big theme in all the trainings and all the workshops. And even when we were at the bars just drinking beer, I mean, people were talking about like the workshops and
I think we froze.
It was really good, man. It was a blast.
I think we froze a little bit. Can you, is it working there? There it is.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. We might have missed just the tail end of what you were saying.
I was just saying, like, you know, downtown, everybody was just talking about it. Everywhere you went, I mean, if you were drinking a beer with somebody and you just met him for the first time, you immediately went into, oh my God, how was that training today? And you just started talking about it, and it was just feeding off the energy of everybody. And like Harvey said, just that 2-hour meal that we had, you know, all of us together at the table was awesome, man. I mean, it really was. It was a training in itself, just picking everybody's brains and feeding off of what we were all talking about. It's those moments, like me and you talked about at that dinner, Michael. It's those little moments when you're talking with people is what makes Summit. I mean, the chaos and the heat and the humidity were just like, you know, the small things when you really think about it. It's walking down the street talking to somebody about something, and, you know, it's walking through core, and it's sitting next to a stranger in a workshop, and then just having those moments together when the speaker says something on stage and you just look at each other like, wow, like I get it now, you know? And it's those little things like that that just really resonate with me. And I just look forward to next year. I can't even wait. I mean, it's just going to be awesome.
I love it. Man, that's awesome. I guess I'll pick myself next. Two big things that jumped out to me. Number one, I need to be a lot more open and forward about the business opportunity. And right now I'm like starting to work out ways to do like a business opportunity call and just be a lot more forward with that, just because I really feel like I've held back from that, for whatever reason, but I've been shifting my mind to really think about just the fact that this is a gift, like an absolute gift to offer somebody. And, I think the thing that really just helped me to see that is, for this being my 4th summit, I'm kind of comparing it to the last few years. In the first year I went to Summit, I was just wide-eyed, just like I didn't know where to go, and I was there by myself. I met with Josh a little bit and basically kind of said hi, but I was there by myself, and I was overwhelmed. I'm sure I didn't remember a thing that happened, but it was just, it was just about me having this very emotional experience. I'm so glad that I did that. And then the next year, I felt a little bit more grounded, a little bit more settled. I could kind of like take more of the information in and learn a lot more. And then the following year, which was last year, Dan was able to join me, and my husband Rodrigo was able to go, and I just had a good time. We just really enjoyed ourselves, and it was great to develop relationships that we start online, but then to see people in 3D and like to see the backs of people's heads. Like, I don't know what the back of your head looks like because I never see that on Facebook. So that was just a really cool experience. But then for this year, having 3 team members, having Pete and Colleen and David, I think for the first time I really got to see and feel what it felt like to kind of rise with the tide of leadership. To see that while, I did learn a lot and I got a lot of great nuggets and those conversations were amazing. For me, I think the most significant thing about Summit was just kind of guiding and leading the way for my team to have a really great experience and to just watch each one of them have moments of connection and of seeing vision, of possibility for themselves, of seeing that they were kind of stepping through fear of the unknown and seeing other people at Summit who were just like them, that they belonged, they fit. And I'm not normally the kind of person that just heads out in front and says we're going this way, but and even though I didn't really know the town, I felt like that was something that I could take on for myself and help kind of keep us together. And although I do definitely rely on the team, Colleen has amazing abilities of wrangling band camp members, so she has some great strengths. But it was like just really cool to see each team member bring their strength together, and I really felt like we acted so well as a team. So that was just awesome to see. And then the last thing that I'll mention was, for me, I think as far as all the speakers go, like Simon Sinek was amazing, DeWitt Jones was amazing. My favorite was Chalene Johnson, and she talked about relationships and just the importance of looking at what we're doing as a couple for those of us who are partnered, and just really acknowledging that a lot of times if your partner or spouse is not involved in Beachbody, that it can be difficult for them. So we need to do our best to step into their shoes and really share our journey, call this our business, not my business. And really, make sure that we are setting aside time to develop our relationship. And, like was said earlier, like put your phone away. Don't just turn it over at the table. Make sure that this is concerted time. Because at the end of the journey, if you're a millionaire, but you've driven away all the relationships in your life, it's worthless. Like this whole thing is worthless. So, we can't wait until we reach some sort of ambiguous level of success to be living the life that we want from the very beginning. And I think her best tip was amazing, and that is to have more sex. Boom, chicka, boom, boom, boom. If you've not seen the video, I actually posted it in our coach group. Watch it, because it is hysterical. So anyway, I think that's, those are the big things for me. I just echo everything else that everybody else said. And I can't wait for next year, just to really push forward. And I feel like our online time is also going to be, that much more exciting for me, just knowing that we spent this time together and that it's real. Like, this is not just a video game. As far as my takeaways, like I said, I'm working on kind of doing Coach Sneak Peek with like a business opportunity presentation. Beachbody's got a new PowerPoint presentation that I've been looking at that looks awesome. So I'm looking forward to doing that and kind of figuring that out. One thing I'd like to do, like as a group, is if anybody wouldn't mind, I'd love to practice doing that with you guys. And, even if, we can kind of learn how to do that together. I look at the top coaches and what they're doing. And Melanie Mitro in 1 year went from 2-star to 15-star diamond. And this is what they're doing. Like, they're really being generous with sharing the coaching opportunity. And it just really starts with belief. So I want to get really good at that. And, of course, I've been kind of following up with people today and returning all messages that I hadn't been working on over the weekend. Brought on 2 coaches onto my team today, which was awesome. So excited about that. One guy was a challenger who's been doing great, Brian, and then another guy who's starting his fitness journey, Eddie. And it's just really cool to see that when we place our focus on other people and really asking questions and trying to figure out what their goals are, their strengths are, their needs, their interests, that we can connect them with incredible tools that are guaranteed to help them, proven, absolutely. So that's what I'm working on. I've got some ideas for breadcrumbing of some stories and stuff, so I'm looking forward to that as well.
Can I say one thing I just thought of?
Yeah.
It's kind of a thank you and a comment. When talking to people you met in sessions, like just sitting next to somebody, so many people do not have a coach like you who shares everything. So thank you, because like, if we don't understand it, you explain it. And if we're still being dumb and don't understand it, you re-explain it a different way so we get it. Because I know I've asked different things at different times and then needed another explanation. And you don't make it some big, like, oh, I'm like recruiting and it's a big secret or something. It's like, you are so open about when you learn information, you share it with us. So it's like really greatly appreciated.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's true.
One thing that John Maxwell has been talking about is leaders don't do things by themselves.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah. Well, I plan on continuing to share. I know it's taken me a long time to figure this out. I mean, I've been a coach almost 5 years. So whenever people don't understand something, I completely identify with it. Like, it just, I look back and just realize how much extra time that it took me to figure this out.
It all happens the way it's supposed to, though, I think. The journey unfolds like it's supposed to. And as you've grown, then we've all grown with you. So.
Yeah, that's right. Well, does anybody else have any final thoughts or action statements that they'd like to share? I know for those who weren't at Summit, you're just kind of soaking this in. So, this would be a great time for anybody to share ideas about what to do with this week.
Well, I know I have a ton of notes to process to help out with Chad and our team that I'll probably be sharing too. So I took like every picture of every slide that was up there so I could do that. And miss Chad and Jason and everybody not being there, you know. So I'm glad Phil was able to make it. So
Hey, Peter, thank you so much for allowing me to stay with you. I mean, the week before, I just completely divorced myself between going to Summit and because of everything that had been going on. So, but you allowed, like you allowed it to happen. You allowed it to happen for me, and like I'll be forever grateful for that. And I mean, I've been telling everyone that's met Peter, like I've been introducing Peter to everyone, like saying his heart's way too big for his body. The man has such a big heart, and that's such a big thing, especially in this business where we're all about helping people and leading from the heart. So you're gonna go places, Peter.
thanks, Phil.
Mm-hmm. And I promise to pay it forward like you told me to. So if someone else is in that situation, and by this time next year things will be much better, I hope to do the same thing you did for someone that might be struggling the same way. So because I've been there, so paying it forward.
That's how you make it work. Everything pays forward, and then it comes back to you.
So James, you ready for Summit next year?
Oh yeah, sounds like you guys had a great time.
Yeah, a little overwhelming to hear all that, I know. Not to drop on your first day.
It sounds like some good stuff though.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
And it doesn't just help your Beachbody business. It really just helps in all facets of your life. I kept thinking of, oh, this would be a great talk for so-and-so to hear, or this would be a great talk for somebody else to hear, like even if they're not in Beachbody. So, I mean, it's just a lot of personal development and then just how to lead your life moving forward in anything you do.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Jason, you're quiet, brother.
You know, man, I'm basking in the afterglow of the Summit experience. Even though I swear I've watched so many videos and seen so many pictures, it's almost like I was there. But I got my ticket the millisecond after they were available for next year. I got my lodging all sorted out. I'm up here. I'm already there. I'm really, really excited. I want to have this same conversation next year with all you fine folks, and so I can contribute the same way you guys do.
Yeah, sweet. Well, cool. Well, let's, I think we can wrap this up. Guys, thank you so much for joining and taking the time. And for everybody who's watching this afterwards, thanks for joining and taking the time and just learning all you can. You know, since you are the ones who are showing up and you're taking the time, that means that you're the leaders. You're the ones who are doing the inconvenient thing and for the big payoff later. So I know we got a lot of cool stuff coming up with our team, and I'm just excited. Got to push real hard over the next month and a half. I'm feeling it before I go back to teaching. So I'm definitely want to take advantage of this opportunity. So get ready, put your seatbelts on, and let's ride this to the top.
Bye, everybody.
See you guys. Take care.
Thanks.
There you go.